Good to see Jay in there. Good to see Pharrell and Tierra Whack.
Bro,
and some people that you may not know.
Did not know Pharrell was on this.
Listen, bro. I forgot that Pharrell's on the album, but that is definitely a sign.
He was on the album.
I didn't know he was going to look like that. Like, that was my thing. I was like, bro, you going to wear the Dickie prison suit?
No disrespect to Pharrell. He one of my favorite.
Come on, man.
All
due respect.
Like,
all due respect. But no respect to the outfit. The shit actually was swaggy. I'm joking. Like, he could pull that off. I wouldn't fuck with it, but, you know.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Disney Plus presentation, Black is King, a film by Beyonce.
So Black is King is kind of a compilation music video anthology featuring also some African artists as well.
Pretty much the video equivalent of the Lion King soundtrack when the Lion King remake came out. Clearly it's inspired by the Lion King. They even got some excerpts from the movie in the film. It's like loosely following that, but in a more artistic and abstract way. So it stars Beyonce, of course, like we said, a plethora of African artists and a lot of just African representation.
It follows the path of this young boy, I guess, on his journey to finding his way home or something.
So there's a lot of prevalent themes throughout this whole video music anthology. What were some of the themes that kind of stood out to you that you saw?
It seemed like it was about finding yourself, and I felt like that was like the overarching theme in it. Losing your way, falling into the wrong crowds, being tempted by your surroundings. It seemed like it was kind of a coming of age type story,
which would arguably be the Lion King story. Like that, everything you just mentioned is a theme in that movie. I think it loosely took the themes from the Lion King, tied that into more of a realistic standpoint. The big theme was, it seemed to be a focus on Black empowerment and, more importantly, African culture in general. They seem to be kind of going over a time span of like ancient Africa to more modern day Africa.
I saw people complaining about it being like how Americans fantasize or make, African culture out to be something that is not. They kind of, make it all mythical. There's a lot of different countries in Africa, so
absolutely,
it's only a singular monolithic culture. I don't know, man. Like, some people I see criticize it because Black Americans have this fantasized version of Africa in their mind, based off of like fictional versions of Africa, like Wakanda and shit.
Yeah, I mean? I've seen that criticism too. I was reading up on it too, and I thought that was interesting. Some people felt like it was a romanticized version, and I also saw the word appropriation being used, which I thought was interesting too, because one, for me being an African American but not a African person, like I could understand how if somebody was to just, I know how we feel when somebody takes bits and pieces of our culture and of course, or it seems like they trying to highlight only one aspect without showing the full view. In this particular aspect, and of course I don't know Beyonce, can't speak for her, but from what I took from it was that not she was trying to romanticize or dismiss the troubles that's in Africa, but I really felt like it was supposed to be highlighting African heritage and just your African roots. It seemed like she was just trying to elevate a lot of the positives. And what I will say is that I consider them like African culture to be our culture as well, even though we have our own culture here in America. But at the same time, we see a lot of fucked up images around both. You know what I'm saying? So whenever there's a positive aspect or they want to show us as kings and queens and things like that, I don't take too much offense to it because I think we got so much of the other stuff. There's plenty of movies. If you want to see the realities of Africa or Africa as it stands today after colonization and whatnot, it's so much media that you can go to see that. If you want to see how fucked up we living over here, there's plenty of media you can go to see that. We don't see a lot of us in an empowered light. So when we get those type of images, I welcome it. People saying that I guess Beyonce is doing this just for, I hate to use the word clout, but let me be very clear to you, man. Beyonce is the type of artist, she's not doing anything that she don't want to do. She's worked herself into that position that anything she does, and when your brand is that powerful, Beyonce is like Rolls Royce, Gucci, Rolex, it's gonna sell. She don't have to sell nothing to you. Her name sells it. So I do not feel that she is pandering or trying to promote Black images to to sell something. I don't feel that way.
I can see how it could be interpreted that way, though, just given the climate right now. It's like this would be the time to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. But because she's done things like this in the past and spoke on these issues before, I don't feel like from her is disingenuous. What do you feel? Do you feel like she?
No, I mean, I don't personally feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't personally know her either.
That's
so
true.
I don't know who's advising her or
exactly.
what somebody of that caliber's intentions are.
Yeah.
You know? But
that's fair.
I didn't take it that way, but I mean, I don't know.
The sad reality is that it is people take issues when it becomes popular, as it is right now, and try to monetize it. What I'm saying is that with her level of success and her level of income, I don't see it from her. Just to me, it wouldn't make sense. I'm thinking just from a logical standpoint, not even like as a Beyonce stan or nothing. I'm just like, what sense would that make? She don't have to do this. You know, they said something very interesting in here, and I would like to get your opinion on it because I know how I feel about it. But it was like a line in here where he said something like, the women in his life have shaped his life more than the men. Or he felt like he got more pivotal advice from women than men in his life.
It's tough. Because, I mean, it just depends on the topic. I mean, I learned a lot from women. I learned a lot from being married. Is that just specifically from a woman or from being in a situation? I probably learned a lot more from my mom. Not to say it's like quantity over quantity, but I mean, my dad, he didn't gave me some gems too.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I mean, I guess from a standpoint of who was the most influential in raising me, it would be my mother.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that might be what he was trying to say. This ain't verbatim. This is kind of just a short little synopsis of what he said. He said a lot more than that. Yeah, I thought that was interesting because speaking as a man, be very clear, you need influential men in your life and you need advice that you can't get nowhere else but from a man, as a man. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, if I could really think and if I was being honest, which I have no problem with saying, I think the most influential people in my life will probably be women. The advice that men gave me was probably more nurtured by women. Men gave me some tools that I needed, but the women kind of facilitated that in my life in a certain way. My pops and some of my uncles planted seeds, and then my aunts and mother and stuff, they kind of tended the garden.
Yeah. Pros.
Yeah.
/ takeaways, I guess I would call this for me. The production quality of this anthology was pretty stellar. Everything from the cinematography to the angles to the special effects, I thought it was really top notch. The choreography was great. Like, everybody was in step, even with just the simplest movements, man. Like, the walking movements, everybody was in step.
Yes.
I thought it was really cool to see. I mean, when they say visual album, it was definitely a visual album. The music was dope. I liked, like I said, how it was some featured artists in there that I haven't seen before.
Whoever she has doing her cinematography, her visual person, her visual department, they are killing the game. Everything from the clothes to the hair, like the hair really stood out to me. The wardrobes, the unique hairstyles, like you said, the dancing, a lot of incorporation of like traditional African dances with some modern thrown in there, I thought was cool, like kind of bridging that gap. I just think that she does a really good job with visuals. In an age of that not being the more dominant thing, like videos is kind of throwaways now. Like, you know, it's just some shit to put out a song to. Back in the 90s, music videos had production value. Listen, bro, Diddy and Biggie was driving backwards in the Hypnotize video for no reason. But it's like, why? To Hypnotize? That's what I'm saying. It was like a Russian mafia chasing them. You just don't see that type of stuff no more. So as somebody that grew up on Michael Jackson and just big budget videos, I appreciate any video with a theme. I had heard this album a while ago when it came out. I haven't heard it in a while, so I had to refresh myself. I'm not the biggest fan of Afro beats. Like, that sound just has to grow on me. But I did like this album, and I like the sounds on there.
I guess the biggest con for me personally, and take this with a grain of salt because I understand how large scale this production was. I appreciated the quality of it, but it's just like, it just felt long. When you watching just a compilation of like videos, I really have to be interested in the story for me to stay engaged.
Yeah.
as far as a comparison was I don't know how many people seen this movie growing up, but the Moonwalker movie.
I was just
Michael
thinking
Jackson,
that. I was just thinking that.
Something about that whole little anthology just kept me engaged the whole time.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's just because it was Michael Jackson or
yes.
The videos was just I don't know, man. It was just a timeless thing to me. Like,
and it wasn't an abstract theme. Like, it was a theme you could follow. You knew what was going on in that. I felt like this was a little bit more open to your interpretation.
Yeah, it was kind of more like a documentary it was kind of a documentary infused with like music videos.
Yeah.
And it was kind of telling his story from his youth to now. I think something like this I would have preferred to see live to make me have or be more entertained all the way through. I just didn't feel that engaged with that could just be me, a personal
I definitely wasn't 100% invested. I think when you got something this abstract, you got to kind of like keep the beats going. In the between monologues was cool, but it was kind of in a way taking me out of it, especially since she did it already on the Lemonade shit, which made way more sense on that because it was like a lot more personal topics. I would have been cool with just the Lion King excerpts tying it all together. Like that in combination with her talking in between just felt like unnecessary. Yeah, absolutely. And then
especially after you had like the more up-tempo songs and then to that it kind of caused like a consistency with the pacing.
Let me see if there's anything else that I really like cons. Oh, con, nigga. Where the fuck was Solange at? Like, where's Solange? That's a con.
Because we thought this was definitely her vibe. She's
Listen,
always been the more Afrocentric one. This would have been right up her alley.
Disrespect. Like, I love Solange. I am a Solange fan. I have been for many
Was
many
she really not
years.
in there at all?
No. If she was in there, we wouldn't have to guess. They did Kelly. Sure. They would have made it a thing. How you have Naomi Campbell in here, but Solange in here? I don't associate Naomi Campbell with black problem, which no problem. I'm sure she is, but that's not what I think of when I think of Naomi Campbell. More the beatings, but like Solange, I'm probably more. I'm a huge fan of Solange, and this being her lane. I just really missed her. So I don't know what that was about, but that's a con and a missed opportunity. Overall, I just think it's really good to see stuff like this. I'm one of them people that really believe in the power of imagery in the media. I think it's good for us to see positive representations of black people, especially when that's not something that's the majority imagery that we see. So it's just good to see it. You know, I know people had their gripes with it, and which are understandable, but for me, I appreciated it for what I took it was, which was black empowerment, uplifting black culture and things like that. So I'm here for that.
So overall, Black is King. The production was amazing, as you'd expect for somebody of Beyonce's prestige. It was mildly entertaining for me personally. You know, this is just my opinion. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
It's like twofold for me. The things where this wins at is the representation aspect, the theme aspect, the execution. They did all of that just in a flawless, I think a lot of the cinematography, all of that was executed flawlessly. But for what this is, which I assume to be a video anthology, I think I would go with a 7 as well, even though I felt like the messaging and the themes was high above that. But for what this is actually presented to us as, I would rate this a 7.
Black is King was a suggested review.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who?
Tatiana.
Oh, nigga. Of course. Why did I not know that?
Right.
The queen of the beehive.
My wife, Tatiana, who is a fan is an understatement.
I was about to say, let's not say fan. Let's call it what it is.
We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the review.
What's up, sis? Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank y'all for tuning in to our review of the Disney Beyonce film video thing, Black is King.
Just stop. I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Right.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for additional content. And if you like what you saw here, and you want to suggest a movie or show to us, just drop a comment below.
Please do. And if you guys have seen Black is King, how do you feel about it? In terms of the themes, do you agree that it's appropriation in any way? Do you feel like, did you take offense with watching this in any way? Or did you just kind of appreciate the overall messaging? I'd be very interested to know any comparable music anthologies that you could think of that you want to put below. Please do so. Let us know how y'all felt.
Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Peace.